Howdy, friend. Welcome back to Feed Bandit, the Texas First Outdoors podcast. Spitz here, helping out my fellow bandits with this episode. As always, my flawed yet fun human hunting partners, either Jimmy or Richard, have edited the contents of this one, so you can rest assured it ain't slop. It's just here to educate and entertain. And if you disagree with anything, hell, just blame it on Jimmy, the least seasoned outdoorsman and entertainer of the two. But I digress. If you have ever sat on a folding stool along the edge of a dusty milo field in late summer, just as the blazing Texas heat starts to give way to the gentle breezes of early autumn, you know there is a specific sound that gets every outdoorsman's blood pumping. It is not a loud roar or a booming call. It is the soft, rhythmic whistling sound of fast wings cutting through the warm air right over your head. You look up into the big blue sky and see a pair of streamlined gray birds darting, diving, and twisting past the tops of the mesquite trees faster than a baseball thrown by a big league pitcher. I am talking about the mourning dove. For millions of folks across our great state, the arrival of dove season is the official opening bell for the entire fall outdoor calendar. It is the long-awaited signal that the long, hot summer is finally wrapping up and that it is time to haul our gear out of the closet, gather up our friends and family, and head out to the fields. But have you ever stopped to wonder how there always seem to be so many of these swift little birds flying across our pastures year after year? Have you ever thought about what it takes to keep millions of mourning doves healthy, well-fed, and flying strong across thousands of miles of open Texas country? Today, we are going to dive deep into the fascinating world of mourning dove conservation efforts and population trends. We will look at how wildlife biologists track these birds across the entire continent, the amazing biological tricks doves use to multiply so fast, and the exact steps you can take on your own land to build a pristine dove sanctuary packed with native seeds, clean water, and safe roosting trees. So pull up a chair and pour yourself a cold drink. We have a lot of sky to cover. To truly appreciate the mourning dove, you have to realize that this bird is one of the most abundant and widespread game birds in all of North America. Biologists estimate that hundreds of millions of mourning doves inhabit our continent every single year, with Texas serving as both a major breeding ground and a vital winter home for birds traveling down from the northern states. But keeping track of a bird that weighs only 4 ounces and can fly over 50 miles per hour across state lines is no easy task. It takes a massive, coordinated team effort between state game wardens, federal biologists, and private land managers. Every single spring, wildlife scientists conduct what they call call count surveys. They drive along quiet rural country roads at the crack of dawn, stopping every mile to turn off the engine, step out into the quiet morning air, and listen carefully for 2 full minutes. They count every single soft, cooing mourning dove call they hear echoing out of the oak trees and telephone wires. By matching these spring call counts with long-term data gathered over decades, scientists can accurately predict whether the dove population is growing, staying steady, or taking a slight dip. Along with listening for calls, conservation teams perform extensive bird banding programs during the midsummer months. Biologists set up gentle wire traps in open pastures, place small piles of fresh grain inside, and carefully slip tiny, numbered aluminum bands around the legs of captured doves before releasing them back into the wild, completely unharmed. When a hunter later harvests a banded bird during the autumn season and reports that unique number online, it gives scientists incredible information. It tells them exactly how far that individual bird traveled, how old it lived to be, and what percentage of the total population is being harvested each year. This rich scientific data ensures that our game regulations, season dates, and daily bag limits are never based on random guesses. Instead, they are set with ultimate mathematical precision to keep the overall dove population strong, healthy, and growing for generations to come. What makes the mourning dove such an absolute powerhouse of survival is its unique and rapid breeding biology. Most wild birds lay eggs only once a year during the spring months, raising a single nest of chicks before taking a break until the following year. But the mourning dove is a non-stop nesting machine. In our warm Texas climate, a healthy pair of mourning doves can nest up to 5 or 6 times in a single summer season. They construct simple, flat nests made of twigs and dry grass high up in mesquite trees, live oaks, or even on old farm building ledges. The female lays exactly 2 bright white eggs per clutch, and both the mother and father take turns sitting on the nest to keep the eggs warm. After just 14 days, the tiny chicks hatch out of their shells, completely blind and featherless. Now you might wonder how a tiny bird that eats hard plant seeds can feed a helpless baby chick that does not have teeth or a strong stomach. Nature solved that problem in a truly amazing way. Both parent doves produce a special highly nutritious liquid inside their crop called crop milk. This rich milk is packed with proteins, fats, and immune-building nutrients. The parents feed this milk directly to the chicks for the first few days of their lives. Because of this supercharged food source, the young chicks grow at a mind-boggling speed. They develop full flight feathers and leave the nest in just 2 short weeks. As soon as those young birds fly off into the pasture to find seeds on their own, the parent doves clean out the nest and lay 2 more eggs to start the whole process over again. This incredible cycle allows mourning dove populations to bounce back remarkably fast, even after hard winter freezes or heavy rains. Now, let's look at the technical strategies, habitat management choices, and ground rules you need to turn your own piece of Texas property into a haven for mourning doves. My first big tip for you is to understand that mourning doves are strict seed eaters that rely on open, bare ground to find their food. Doves have very short, weak legs with small feet that are not built for scratching through thick leaves or tall, matted grass like a wild turkey or a quail. If a field is choked out with heavy, thick grass, a dove cannot walk around to look for seeds, and it will fly right past your property to find a cleaner spot. To create the ideal dove kitchen, plant native broadleaf plants like yellow sunflowers, croton, doveweed, milo, and sesame. Once those plants mature and drop their dry seeds onto the dirt during the middle of the summer, use a tractor with a disc or a light shredder to clear strips of bare earth directly between the plant rows. Having a clean, dusty floor underneath a rich seed canopy gives the doves a safe, clear space to walk, pick up seeds, and spot incoming hawks from a distance. My second tip is to provide a clean, reliable water source paired with open, muddy gravel banks. Just like a high-powered engine needs water to keep cool, a mourning dove needs fresh water every single day to digest its heavy diet of dry seeds. However, doves are extremely picky about where they take a drink. They will completely avoid deep livestock ponds that have thick cattails, tall reeds, or high grass growing right up to the water's edge, because those tall weeds hide dangerous predators like coyotes, bobcats, and snakes. To build a dove-friendly waterhole, clear away all the thick brush along one side of a stock tank or dirt pond, scraping the soil bare until you have a smooth, gently sloping bank of sand or fine gravel. The doves will fly in by the hundreds during the cool, late afternoon hours, landing on the clear, open dirt bank where they can safely take a long drink before flying off to their evening roosts. My third tip is to understand the absolute biological necessity of small gravel grit in a dove's digestive system. Birds do not have teeth to chew up their food before swallowing. When a dove eats a hard sunflower seed or a tough grain of corn, it swallows the seed whole, storing it in its crop before sending it down to its muscular stomach, which is called the gizzard. To grind those tough woody seeds into digestible food, the dove must swallow tiny rough stones and bits of gravel sand. These little rocks sit inside the gizzard, acting like a tiny pair of millstones that crush the seeds into powder as the stomach muscles squeeze together. You can help the local dove population on your land by placing small piles of coarse builder's sand or fine limestone gravel near your feeding fields and water holes. The doves will visit these grit piles daily to pick up fresh grinding stones, keeping their digestive systems running at peak performance. My fourth tip is to practice strict ethical harvest management and non-lead field standards to protect the soil and the local environment. When you head out to enjoy a hunt with your friends, always hold yourself to the highest standards of sportsmanship. Never shoot past your legal daily bag limit. Keep a sharp eye on where every bird falls so you can retrieve every single downed dove from the brush. And if possible, use high-quality, non-toxic shot shells like steel or bismuth whenever you are hunting near ponds or wetland areas. Lead shot pellets left behind on the bare dirt can sometimes be accidentally swallowed by feeding doves who mistake the round pellets for digestive grit, which can make the birds sick. By using clean alternative metals and keeping your hunting fields free of plastic trash and spent shells, you protect the soil and ensure that the wildlife remains healthy and thriving. Taking care of our mourning dove populations and managing our native habitats with discipline is one of the most rewarding and time-honored traditions in the Texas outdoors. It connects us directly to the natural cycles of the seasons and reminds us that being an outdoorsman is about far more than just pulling a trigger. It is about being a dedicated steward of the soil, the water, and the wild creatures that call our home state their sanctuary. Preserving this grand tradition means looking past our own immediate enjoyment and taking full responsibility for the future of the species. It means teaching our children how to identify birds on the wing, how to respect game laws with total honesty, and how to work alongside nature to leave the land better and wilder than we found it. Protecting the legacy means standing shoulder to shoulder with our fellow Texians, supporting local habitat projects, and passing down the ancient values of patience, humility, and honor under the big open sky. When you stand on the edge of a golden field at dusk, watching thousands of swift gray wings cross the glowing pink horizon, you can take deep pride in knowing that your hard work helped make that beautiful miracle happen. Protect the land and keep your eyes on the skies. So what do you think of that? Are we right on target or did we totally miss the boat on that one? Email us at howdy@feedbandit.com and let us know either way. And don't forget to check us out at feedbandit.com and grab some gear to show off your Texas First Outdoors pride. 10% of every purchase gets donated to Texas-focused outdoors causes. This way you can help preserve the tradition and protect the legacy of Texas. And remember, always support your local feed store. If you're there for them, they'll be there for you when you need them the most out in the field. Stand tall, fellow Texian. We'll talk soon.